is Saska, and we're the Saska Sisters. And this is Indie Horror Junkies! Indie Horror Junkies!
Indie Horror Junkie.
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 We're a panic attack.
And this is Indie Horror Junkies!
Indie Horror Junkies.
Indie Horror Junkies! Indie Horror Junkies!
It's the Indie Horror Junkie Podcast, your source for anything and everything indie horror. Here's your host, Otis B. Dreads.
Whew, almost got into a coughing fit right before we went live, but it is 8 o'clock. Do you know where your indie horror is at? It's got to be right here. It's the only place for indie horror, your premier source, your one-stop shop. I could go on, but I won't. For indie horror, and it's right here, Indie Horror Junkie Podcast. I am, as you can, this side, as you can see, I am Otis B. Dreads, and of course, riding shotgun there. You got it the first time. Riding Ricky D. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, sir. And you?
I'm doing good. I'm tired I haven't been sleeping a whole lot, but I'm here. I'm ready to go. I have my little cute energy drink here and my water. And we got a good one tonight. For the first time, we've had a lot of firsts here on the show, and I think this is another first. We have Mr. Mark Anthony Baca, stunt coordinator. Runs a school to learn how to do stunts. This is going to be interesting. We haven't had one. And of course, filmmaker Evan Allen coming on. We're going to talk some Six Wheels from Hell, a new project he's got coming up called A Toy Maker. We got all kinds of indie horror stuff to talk about. Beforehand, little bit of housekeeping. We have May 13th, the new issue, the Indie Horror Junkie magazine. You can get that digital, you can get that print, just you can get it any way you want it, but just get it.
Absolutely. And we're very excited about that one. That's issue number 9. So we're really excited about it. It's our biggest and best issue yet. We've got quite a few films that we give you the lowdown on in there. And it's a real colorful magazine. It's, like I said, it's got a lot of upcoming films that we're really excited about that we want to drop the details for you. You can get it in PDF version, print version. It'll go live on the 13th for both digital download and for print order. So just go to indiehorrorjunkie.com, go to the Stash House, which is what we lovingly call our little shop of horrors. Get it, little shop of horrors? How about that? And then you can get it right there and check out all the other things we got. T-shirts, all kinds of good stuff. I mean, like Otis here said, one-stop shopping.
It's one-stop shop. It really is. And indie horror, specifically indie horror, I think is really on the rise. And I say this because I'm starting to see, I just seen a post come up in my feed about a Blair Witch Project remake. Blumhouse and somebody else. And of course, the reactions are, ugh, here we go again with another remake. You don't find that in indie horror. You find a lot of original ideas and a lot of good stuff coming out of indie horror. So It's really on the comeback, I think.
Yeah.
If it ever left, I don't know.
I don't think it ever left. I think indie horror has always been here. It's just now they've got a great source, an indie horror junkie, that's going to help shine a light on all these people that nobody really heard of.
That's
Yeah.
right. You know, and if you're looking for new original content, Indie Horror Junkie, the magazine, is a great place to find, because we're always focusing and shining a spotlight on new movies, movies in production, ones to look out for, ones to go check out. So, and that's a great segue, and I didn't even mean to do it. One movie.
That's the best. When it just comes natural like that.
It comes natural. That's right. One movie that I believe has made an appearance in Indie Horror Junkie magazine, and that would be Six Wheels from Hell. It was also played at the first annual Indie Horror Junkie Film Festival in Orlando, where that's something else we're going to talk about. And this is, again, a great segue. Let's check out this little trailer and
then bring the boys on.
Mark on real quick. Here's Six Wheels from Hell. You guys are going to like this, mother truckers.
Las Vegas, here we come!
I can't believe we're all moving to Vegas.
I know, right? It's a dream come true.
Wow, super creepy dude.
Mason, stop. I think he heard you.
What if there's someone locked up in the back of his cinema? She's gone. Someone took her.
Who's that creepy trucker?
What are you doing?
They call me Mother Trucker.
Hey!
And here we go. Welcome, Evan, Mark. Welcome to the show. Thanks for taking the time out and talking with us, man.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, hey, let's start with Mother Trucker, man. Who wants to start? Let's start with Six Wheels from Hell. I absolutely love this one. And I also had the same response from Mrs. Dreads in the background. We were big fans of this one. Mother Trucker, and it was the character. Mother Trucker had this Otis Driftwood thing to him, where there was some humor, sarcasm, and all-out brutality. So if you guys haven't seen this there in the chat, you need to check this one out. Who wants to start? Let's talk Six Wheels from Hell.
How'd this come to be? Give us the lowdown.
Yeah.
How'd it come to be? Well, I met Mark through Facebook, just randomly. I was just adding people from the industry. Mark hit me up one day. He said, hey, I'm going to be in Las Vegas. That's where I live. Let's go to karaoke and talk about movies. So I'm like, all right. So we meet at our favorite karaoke bar out here called Dino's. They've been getting people drunk there since 1965, apparently. And the best dive bar in town. So if you're ever in Vegas, you got to check it out. So yeah, we just were out there singing, and Mark could sing, I could sing. It's great. You know, we're having a blast out there. I think he did some Guns N' Roses that night, Mark.
Yep.
I think I was doing like the third or 1/7 or something like that. And then we just got to chatting, and this is, early in the pandemic. Things are just slowly closing down, and the whole, everyone didn't have work at that point, and then. I usually work up in film and television up in Vancouver, but in Vegas, there's not really a big industry, so you kind of got to do it yourself down here. And so, I applied for my PUA check, and it took forever in the pandemic to get it. And then all of a sudden, it was a bit of a lump sum. So I was like, you know what? I can pay my bills. I can pay my rent. I'm going to make a movie. And, it was right around the time where I met Mark for the first time. And then we just started talking about it. I had the idea for Six Wheels in my head, kicking around in my brain for the last 15, 20 years. And after I met him, I was like, you know what, he'd probably be the perfect actor for this. And so I just started writing it. I got in contact with Quantum Arts Media in Las Vegas and made a deal with them. I didn't have enough to finish the movie, but I had enough to start shooting it. And a couple weeks later, what was it, 2-3 weeks, Mark? And we were up in Nelson Ghost Town shooting a movie. Just like that. Yeah. And, it was a bit of a challenge at first. We went really fast to get this going. We couldn't find a truck for the life of us. The original poster is kind of behind me. It's kind of hard to see, but it was 18 Wheels from Hell. And so it was supposed to be in the back of the semi. But the only people working in the pandemic were the truckers. And so we couldn't find a semi that was affordable at all to shoot. So we're like, throwing around, should we do an animated truck? Should we shoot it in a studio or the back of the truck or whatever? But then when we went up to Nelson Ghost Town, they had all these crazy vehicles there. And we ended up finding this double-decker school bus with 6 big monster truck wheels on it, had spikes in the front and bullet holes in the side of this thing. And, we talked to the owner of that place, Tony, and we're like, does that thing drive? And he's like, yep. So we made a deal with him, and boom, that was our truck. So, but then we had to change the name of the movie from 18 Wheels from Hell to 6 Wheels from Hell. We had to re-copyright everything. And then, Mark drove out here, barely made it. Truck broke down, but Yep. Yeah, just like that. We had some local casting director here that works with Quantum Arc. Michael Forsh, he found us our 4 teenagers, early 20-year-olds playing teenagers. And then the rest of the cast were just my buddies from they're karaoke buddies. But it turns out a lot of them had acting training in the past from high school or whatever. And I can imagine, or I was so happy with how they did. They were just perfect because everyone just fit the role, and couldn't be happier with how it turned out. So.
Yeah, I got a question for you. As an indie filmmaker myself, I know that a lot of times scripts change due to the fact of resources that you had planned on or wanted that you didn't have, or money or availability or whatever it is. Because when you're an indie filmmaker, you got to kind of, take care of what you got and work around with what you have. How much did your original script change due to things that you had to adjust or alter or whatever it is due to, just the indie filmmaking aspect of it?
I would say that hardly anything changed at all.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah, we were pretty lucky. We filmed like 99% of it, except for one police station scene up there. We were able to do. The only thing that really changed in the script was some of the dialogue, because I'm very open with my actors, and if they improv something that makes the script better, then I'm totally cool with it. And as long as it doesn't change the story or mess anything up, right?
Yeah.
And so Mark had a bunch of stuff and ideas that he wanted to do and throw out there in lines, and some of the other actors as well. And, so not much really changed from the script.
Well, very cool. And Mark, we hear that you're a stuntman. I never used to know that way back in the day that I could just fall downstairs or get hit with cars or have shit fall on me and I could actually get paid for it. But that's what stuntmen do, right?
Oh, yeah. But now I'm a stunt coordinator, so I set up everything like from beginning to end. I make sure safety for people as well as camera crew. But been doing this for 30 years. And
really cool.
So I've been gearing towards more acting the past 10 years, but I do both now. I produce as well, so I feel you on the production side of it. That's how we teamed up for this next film, is I handle everything I know how to do with the resources I got. and put it together with Evan, and we make this next film.
Well, he said you're a stunt coordinator, correct? But you're
Yes.
also a stuntman as well. Did you do a lot of your own stunts there in the movie, or did you pretty much
Both.
just? Oh, you did both.
I did both.
Very
I did
cool.
my own stunts and did other people's stunts too. Like when the guy got put on fire, that was me. I put his
Oh,
clothes
very
on.
cool.
I put his clothes on. Yeah.
Very nice. Otis, didn't mean to cut you off there. Go ahead.
How does one get into wanting to be set on fire? Were you did you like jump off couches when you were a kid? Were you
On
that
the
kind of a
stoves?
little kid? Yeah.
Yeah, I was a daredevil to get attention,
Yep.
and that's kind of how it started. But I started back in '92, getting into film, and Chuck Norris would be at tournaments, looking for some new talent, along with other producers for different movies like Sidekicks and Power Rangers, things like that. And that's how I started getting into the film business back then. But to light yourself on fire, if you can't, your special gel you put on you to make sure you don't burn. You soak your clothes in, or I can light my face on fire and I won't burn because I put a special gel on it. So I won't burn the skin.
Right.
But you can only buy it if you're a legit stunt coordinator. You have to be a stunt coordinator with legit union ties. Like the only two places that sell it, and they won't sell it to you if you're just a regular guy. So, but there's old school ways to do stuff. It's just not as safe.
Well, you got to figure if they can sell it to anybody, then every freaking YouTube influencer out there is going to be setting themselves on fire in the living room,
Yeah, and then be lost.
That's never going to turn out good.
Yep.
No.
But I do out of school. I just did some pyrotechnics and I did some fire burns on people, training them for safety and procedures and how to do the fire burns correctly.
That is so. I don't know. That's just kind of scary, and I guess because you probably know, Mark. All of us probably know about the Kane Hodder story. Where he got burned, how he got his scar, and just everything that he went through, and all the pain and rehab and everything. And I mean, it's just no. It's just a big nope. I mean, I can't take the chance of burning my locks, man, or my beard.
Yeah, they look good. I wouldn't want to burn those either.
No, I can't burn those.
That's the money maker right there. All that look you got,
Right, man. I've heard that before, man. I'm gonna work it. I'm gonna hit the catwalk. So yeah, Six Wheels from Hell, man. I like the little backstory. We had a comment just now. They like the backstory of the truck. And did you have Jeepers Creepers in mind when you picked that truck out? Because I got a Jeepers Creepers vibe, even though it was an ominous creature in the truck. But I mean, come on, tell me there was a little bit of a Jeepers Creepers influence there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I grew up watching old school, practical horror films. I much prefer practical stuff to some of the CGI and stuff that you see today. But I would definitely have to say that was a little bit of an influence. I've hung out with Rob Zombie in Hollywood there during like the 31 premiere and things like that. He's been a huge influence on me as well, and he's kind of bringing back the old horror kind of stuff too. So yeah, I like Tim Burton too. I kind of throw him in there.
What was your influence? Was there like one particular movie or maybe a situation growing up that made you think about this particular storyline that you wanted to, investigate with this script?
The scary hillbilly in a beat up truck traumatized you as a kid?
No. I don't know. I've written right now. I've got like 13 feature films ready to go. Mostly all horror with all kinds of different stories, but just different influences growing up. And music is a huge thing too. White Zombie, like Disturbed, Filter, and all that stuff too. So I mean, with this one, we put out a soundtrack with it too. A bunch of Canadian bands, some American bands, a heavy metal band from Brazil, Claustrophobia there on there too. So So kind of like, and I used to sing in a band in Canada. Called Yeah, whatever. We didn't do much touring. We, made cameos in like Lost Boys of Tribe and the Blood Ties TV show and a few other things, and got a lot of our songs in movies and TV. So kind of, having all this music influence and movies and putting them together, I love doing that. So
I just heard you mention about being from Canada and stuff. One of our friends here, Jamie Hill, is tunes in pretty much every week when we go on. I don't know if you there she is right there with the chatting. Jamie Hill was in she played the mother in that movie Skinamarink, and she helps a lot with the magazine and the podcast, and she's from Canada.
Very nice. Yeah. As Canadians, we may be nice, but I don't know. Once I start writing a script, it gets pretty nasty.
Now, I did hear you mention that in Las Vegas, there's not much of an indie film scene there. Did I hear that right?
Well, there's an indie film scene.
Okay.
The Mahal Empire. I think they're on their like 16th feature film right now. I've been friends with them, taking a lot of advice for our next one. Doing our Indiegogo because they've raised about $3.5 million for all their movies through Indiegogo. So,
Indiegogo.
A lot of Vegas filmmakers end up on their sets. And there's other local filmmakers as well, but it's all independent. We got to do it ourselves here. Eventually it sounds like Mark Wahlberg is going to build that studio here. It should take about 2 years. So they just got approved.
He's building that in Vegas?
Yeah, so hopefully within 2 years there'll be a bit of an industry here.
Wow.
We can go get paid and then use our money to fund our own movies instead of all having side jobs and things like that. So,
all right.
Yeah, so hopefully all that goes well.
Okay. As an indie filmmaker, though, and obviously doing things this way, what did you find was the hardest aspect of getting this movie made? Whether it be getting the locations or securing the truck or just talent or even just taking time off of work, whatever. What was the hardest thing that you had to overcome to see this movie made?
Surprisingly, Six Wheels from Hell was pretty easy. I think it would have been a financing issue. Obviously, that seems to be the hardest thing for everybody. That's why having Indiegogo is so amazing to get us going on the next few films, and then hopefully we can attract investors after that. I think just financing is the hardest part. I mean, for Six Wheels from Hell, I had enough to shoot it, and then the PUA checks were coming in. So every week I would throw a bit more at it, throw a bit more at it, and then Brandon Peterson ended up coming on, and he ended up making a little cameo in the movie, and he threw like $11,000 on it. So overall, we spent about $30,000 on that movie. And of course, we couldn't have done it without our volunteers. The main 4 teams, they were all paid. Our crew was all paid. So there were still a couple of volunteers, but and then then we did have to do an Indiegogo for just to make a few $1,000 on my own for sound, which we send up to Canada. So yeah.
Otis,
finance.
what is that?
The biggest thing.
What is CJ saying there? I can barely read it.
CJ says Evan flew into Chicago for the Chicago Horror Film Festival, won Best Feature, and flew back to Vegas after in the same day. #rockstar.
Yeah, that was great. That was a great little festival too. We flew in. We ended up spent the day at the zoo. I brought my son with me, my 7-year-old, and then we just got in, went to the zoo, took a lift to the film festival, did all that, went back to the hotel, slept for like 2-3 hours, and got right back on a plane, and then came back. And we got to the coolest trophy. It's like a skull with a hand, zombie arm holding it up, and we're pretty proud of that one. The best feature at the Chicago Horror Film Festival.
You had another comment here.
I'm not. What's that?
Also, you had another question here. How many days?
Yeah, how many days to shoot? I'm guessing they're talking about 6 Wheels.
Yeah, 9 days.
9 days. Were they
9 days.
consecutive, or did you kind of break them up like a couple weekend here and then another weekend or some?
Consecutive with a weekend in the middle. So we shot the first 8 days up at Nelson Ghostown, and then the 9th day was more of a half day, and we filmed that at Quantum Arc Studios just for the police stations.
Very cool.
Now, Mark, I hear you have, and I mentioned briefly, you have a little stunt school thing that you do there. Tell us about that, where people can go get set on fire safely.
Well, it's more than a stunt school. So I have it's called if you go to my website, it's called goexfo.com, and Go Expo for Go Extreme Force. So basically, we do several things there. We have a back lot, so we do film out there. We also do team building. So corporations come out there and they do stunts for team building. They jump off high towers. We do pyrotechnics, wire work, we can fly. It's really cool. They love it. Amazon was just out there. They loved it. And then my third thing I do is the school. So people sign up and take classes with me, and we do everything from fire burns, pyrotechnics, precision driving, wire work, tactical, you name it, squids. I mean, anything stunt-wise, we pretty much do.
Do you have to be certified to be a stuntman to run the school?
No, I mean, because Indy has no certification. So, you know, I am union. I'm SAG. Yes, the union has to vet you, and you're gonna have to be recognized by SAG to be a legit stunt coordinator. I am, but I do, since I'm in Texas, it's a right to work state. I don't get enough union gigs out here, so now I'm producing a lot of films. We're making 6 to 10 films a year. 6 to 10 films a year, and Evan's teamed up with us, and we're gonna start knocking out 2 or 3 of his with us.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Are they all SAG films? Are they all non-union, or a little mix of both?
All non-union. Yeah.
All non-union. Yeah. I got you. Especially after COVID and stuff like that. I mean, it's just, I mean, people got to work, you know?
Yeah, and then, you know, SAG goes, you know, you'll pay a lot of for insurances, bonds, whatever. They'll put a lot up front, and you know, we can knock out a full feature film for like 7 to 20 grand, from pre-production to post, all the way to distribution. So, because we own a lot of stuff, we have houses, we got cars, we can build everything. We don't need to pay nobody.
Right.
So we got to pay.
Speaking of distribution, have you guys gotten distribution for that yet, or no?
Yes. Yeah. We went with, once the trailer dropped, we had a lot of people calling us, but we ended up going with High Octane. And so far they've got it. It's in USA, Canada, Latin AM, Stark, ICC. I think I counted it the other day. It's about 60 countries within all those territories so far. And, you know, they may be expanding that to even more. They never thought it was going to be on Blu-ray and DVD, but then all of a sudden it was at Walmart and Amazon.com. So, yeah, it's on Blu-ray and DVD as well, too. Winning awards all over the world, different festivals here and there. You know, I got to come to Orlando to the Indie Horror Junkie Film Festival, which was amazing. With you
That's
guys.
right. Great segue. I bet you didn't even realize you did it, man.
And you guys were a finalist too. It was a very popular film.
Yeah. It
Oh
was.
yeah. The one that won. Oh my God, the one that won was that they deserved it. So I don't mind coming in like second or third.
Purgatory Jack. Yeah, I know that was a good one.
Yeah.
Man, was that a good one.
But that's the beautiful thing, is because we got so many good quality films, you know, like yours and Purgatory Jack and everything. We had so many good films there. I was really excited about that. I mean, we had so many people comment after that saying that they'd seen so many high caliber films at that event. They were really surprised that indie films like that could be that good. And that's a great thing. That's great for you guys. It's great for the whole indie scene.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. And you guys were right inside MegaCon. Like, that was amazing too. Like, I drove across the country for it, brought my son with me. We spent the day doing all sorts of fun things there. All the celebrities just walking around, doing autographs.
Yeah. And you got to hang out with us and 250,000 of your closest friends, right?
Yeah.
Can't believe they had that many people there that weekend. That was nuts.
It was totally nuts. Totally nuts. What a great experience.
Yeah. And now you come to Orlando, so we'll have to make it a regular thing because we'll be there again next year.
Right on, right on.
Yeah, you gotta put Toymaker out there on that one.
Yeah, Toymaker will be there.
There's another good segue. Look, you guys are naturals.
You guys brought your own segues because I was getting ready to get into that. I have, we were talking about Indiegogos with other campaigns, and you have one going on right now with the Toymaker. And I actually have a little crowdfunding promo for you guys to check out.
Right
and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about this film and maybe talk about some of the perks. Well, as much as you can talk about as far as the movie. But we're going to have a little conversation about a toy maker after this. So check this out.
A toy maker named Jack Kraken is threatened by an evil real estate mogul, but his new crazy apprentice Madison Moan convinces them to turn his evil goons into human marionettes. Will they get away with it? Or will the corrupt sheriff catch the desperate killers? Find out in A Toy Maker.
Hello, my name is Evan Allen from Cybrid Entertainment. I am the writer-director of The Toy Maker. I will be teaming up with Baca Entertainment and MGI Films over in Texas to make this film. Combined, we have produced 11 feature films, including Six Wheels from Hell, People of the Walls, Malice, Nowhere Land, and so many more. So, you know we will get worldwide distribution like our other films.
I'm the owner of Extreme Force Hollywood Stunts, and my team back here, we got a team of between 20 and 30 guys from San Antonio, Texas, Austin, Texas, all the way to Phoenix and Albuquerque, New Mexico. We work on movie sets, feature films, commercials, music videos, short films. It doesn't matter. Anything that's to do with the film industry, for stunts, action, or special effects, that's what we do.
Our friends over at MGI Films are gonna take care of the makeup. MGI Films will take care of production and post.
We will be scouting locations in the Austin area of Texas. We will go to camera this summer, but we can't do it without you. So, check out our killer perks. Digital copies of the film, DVDs and Blu-rays, t-shirts, hoodies, stunt courses with Mark Anthony Baca at Extreme Force Stunts, then do a stunt in the movie.
They call me Mother Trucker.
Become an associate or executive producer. Hell, I'll even let somebody shadow me on set for the day and then direct a scene, and you'll get second unit director credit. We will name a beer in the film after you and then put your face on the label. Don't forget to shoot us your email for those secret perks. Act in a scene with a celebrity or even produce a feature film with us in the future from scratch. You can even cast your kids in the movie as actors or extras like my son Hunter here.
Hello, my name is Hunter.
We cannot wait for you to join us on set, and if you can't make it, you can always land a remote role as a 911 operator in the film. Thank you for your support, and let's make a killer movie together.
Very cool.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a perk that you can, bring your kids and get them in a movie or, that's a pretty cool perk. Got a lot of great, and, You guys, which I think helps Indiegogo, campaigns when you put out quality work, and people see that it's getting, distributed. It's getting out there. Like you said, well, it's going to go worldwide. I mean, look at what we've done in the past, and that obviously helps with a crowdfunding campaign. Are you relying more on the Indiegogo side with a toy maker? Are you investing some of your own funds? How is a toy maker getting funded this go around?
A toy maker is definitely going to be through Indiegogo. I'm sure at some point we'll be putting in our own funds, as every indie filmmaker has to do.
Right.
The first one I funded along with one other investor, but this one is going to be mainly crowdfunded on Indiegogo. So if you go to Indiegogo, just search a toy maker. You can find it there. We just launched about a week ago. We're going to do a 60-day campaign, so we got lots of time to raise the funds. Mark is going to be one of the bad guys in the movie. So you got the star already. Star power of Mark from Six Wheels from Hell is going to be dating one of the kind of the evil real estate mogul. And you want to talk about some of the cast that we already have, Mark?
Sure. Tell them. I want me to tell you.
Not the special one that we just landed today.
Okay.
But
I can tell them about one or two since I know them better. So the toy maker is going to be Pete Porteous. He's a huge, like a big veteran in the LA circuit area, like stunts. He worked with David Carradine. I mean, he worked with all these old school guys, and he's like an actor, stunt coordinator, stuntman. He's going to be the old man that plays the toy maker, and he's got a ton of experience with film. Like he's going to be a huge asset to the film. So Pete Porteous, and then we have a friend of mine, Lorenzo. He is a stunt double for Nicolas Cage. He's on Deadpool right now, stunt doubling for Deadpool. This guy's an amazing stuntman, but he's also an actor. So Lorenzo will be Deadshot for our film. And this guy is jacked, man. This guy's like ripped, and he's huge, and he's going to be and he does his own stunts just like I do. So it's going to be a cool fight scene and all kinds of gore and fire. It's going to be awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
Otis, did you have the video to announce the other?
Yeah, I do, because you guys just added some new member to the cast. Was that just here recently, last couple of days?
Today.
Afternoon.
Today.
Oh, this afternoon. All
Breaking news. Breaking news.
Where's the breaking news music when I need it? Yeah, the big banner across the top or something. Yeah. All right. Well, here he is.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? I just want to say hello. And my name is Robert Lasardo, and I'm excited to announce I'm going to be a part of a new horror film project called The Toy Maker. Look out. I'm coming.
Yeah, we could not be more excited to have Robert Lasardo on set.
Oh, he's awesome.
Oh man, he's great. He's I was just looking at his IMDb today. He's got like 210 acting credits. Oh, just amazing. He's writing and directed American Trash, one of his movies now. I see he's starting to produce a few movies as well. But he was in CSI Miami. He was in A Mule, opposite Clint Eastwood. He's in a bunch of the Mahal movies that are going to come out, like Bloodthirst, Arena Wars. And oh man, we are so excited to have him on board.
Robert Lasardo, I've worked with him several times, so it's cool to act with him now. So before I was stunt coordinating, all the stunts, practical effects, but now I get to work with him as an actor, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you're going to be on screen with him in a few scenes. It's going to be great.
We have a couple more B-listers we're gonna pull to this film. I'm just trying to lock them down first. So we can't say nothing yet, but it's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. And when does this? When do you start filming, or what's the plan for this one?
Tentatively, we're looking at October, maybe sooner. But to be safe, we're just going to say October for now. But maybe sooner. It depends.
Out of curiosity, what kind of cameras do you guys use?
Blackmagic.
Blackmagic. Okay. Yeah. We had a film we just shot called The Clock, and we used that Blackmagic Pocket 4K. Yes. Love that camera.
Well, my partners with MGI Films, these guys are amazing. So it's all about the lenses, you know. So these guys are young twins, and they're badass. So when you see the production on Toymaker, trust me, the lighting, the sound, all that is key. You know this.
Oh yeah.
And you're gonna be very impressed with the work on this film. Trust me.
Love it. Love it. More quality film on the way. I love it.
Yeah.
So this is going to be done in October. You're shooting in October. Because I'm just throwing this out there. You know, of course, we got the Indie Horror Junkie Film Fest Part 2 coming up in February. Not to try and rush things, you know, but we'd love, if anything, maybe we can get a trailer that we can have out there.
Oh my God, my guys they do the post within 45 days. They're done. All of our movies we get done in 45 days.
You hear that, Evan? All right, you're on the clock.
All right.
All right. It's recorded.
Yep, that's it. It's recorded. That would be awesome. We'd love to have you guys a part of that again. Like I said, after what we saw with you guys with the quality with your last film, we're chomping at the bit to see what you guys come up with next. Really are.
Yeah, we can't wait to do this film. You know, some of the perks are just, you won't find them on a lot of different productions. Like, I have one perk where I'll let somebody shadow me for the day, and then I will actually let them direct a scene. I don't think I've ever
That's
seen
so cool.
On any indie go before.
I've never seen it. Yeah.
And Mark is offering. What are you offering, Mark?
Yeah. So there's a driving experience where I teach them how to precision drive, and they get to drive in the movie like a stunt person.
Wow.
I'll train them for the precision driving, reverse 180s, or hard 90s, J turns, whatever we come up with.
See, that's cool. Those are a couple of perks just right there. Those two I have never seen. And I've seen so many Indiegogos and Kickstarters, and I've never seen something like that. So somebody who wants to not just be like a walk-on role in the movie or whatever, but to do something significant like that, right. I mean, how could you not want to?
Right.
That's right.
And that's an experience that, you know, I think you're going to take, you know, a lot with you, you know, and it's an experience that, and not to shit on the perks that, you know, other projects offer, you know, but I'm saying this right here, man, I think is an experience that's going to stick with you maybe a little longer than getting your name in the credits or, you know, something like that. I'm just saying, you know.
Yeah. Well, and he's got a couple for level 1 stunts as well. Right, you're given 3.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get somebody in there, Mark, that does the stunt perks, and it may open up a career for him. Who knows?
That's true.
Well, or I mean, even the directing part. Somebody get in there and says, "Oh, this is how you do it." You're, you know, watching how it's done. Maybe they get the itch and want to try, you know, directing their own thing. You never know, man. I've seen crazier shit happen.
Right.
Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff, like you said, for the kids, like different packages depending on how many kids you have, if you want to get them all in. Because, you know, we're going to need a lot of kids. You know, before the movie gets crazy, you know, there's going to be kids coming and going out of the toy store with the toy maker, buying toys, and, you know, like pull some kind of scenes and stuff like that, and walk around outside the store, things like that too. So there's definitely opportunities for the whole family, not just the adults on this one. And of course, we've got, you know, the regular basic stuff like the T-shirts and the DVDs and the Blu-rays, some mystery boxes, all sorts of cool things like that.
Woodson wants to blow up a car, so is there a blow up the car perk?
There is. Yeah.
There is, yeah. So we'll basically do is we'll rig the car for the explosion, and we'll let them pull the trigger.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the person who buys that also has a small role in the film as Madison Moon, the female character, female lead. She has to get rid of the goon's car, and so she takes it to somebody, and that person is supposed to get rid of it subtly, but they end up just blowing it up. It's not very subtle. So they'll have some lines back and forth with the character, and then they get to blow up the car.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and we've got some pretty cool stunts that we want to do for this film. We just wrote in that we're going to drive a car through the side of an RV, right, Mark? And,
yeah.
Of course, we're going to blow up the car. Some precision driving stuff. We won't have anybody on fire yet, but we might add that one. We got set on fire last time, and that was a lot of fun. So wouldn't mind doing that again.
It looks good.
More fire this time.
Yeah.
More fire. Fire.
More fire. Yeah.
So, when it comes to what if somebody we get a lot of indie actors and actresses and whatnot that check this show out, and it gets around a little bit. So what if one of these actors or actresses are watching and being like, man, I like what these guys are doing, I need to get involved with these. How does one get involved in one of your films? Do you put out casting calls on social media? Is this, is this something they have to email their demo reel? I mean, what's the scoop? What's the scoop on that?
So far, our casting has been private, and we've been contacting them. Besides Robert Lasordo, he actually asked me if there was a role for him, which was great. But for this one, because it's an Indiegogo, and that's the main source of our income, there are perks where you can buy your role, and then we will find the best place for you, so everyone's happy. That way, maybe at one point, if our budget gets big enough, then we can start adding a few more casts that we're able to.
I do have an email that I'm collecting demo reels because we have, like I said, 6 to 10 movies we're doing. So if anybody wants to, they can send it to Baca Entertainment LLC at gmail.com, and I'll add them to our program. And if we're looking for a certain look, we go through there so we can try and find people who have a reel, who have acting experience. Depending on how much experience they got, how big the role they can get, of course.
Yeah, because Mark's got tons of movies going on with MGI Films all the time, right? So
yeah.
Yeah, and then my email is evanallendirector@gmail.com. It's ALLEN, evanallen@gmail.com. Because no matter what, we'll still accept emails and inquiries and things like that. Because you never know, right?
Right.
Money from this thing, and then we need to hire more actors, or like some might buy on, some might not buy on. We don't know.
And I'll get, if you guys don't mind, I'll get your guys' emails again. And when I share this YouTube link, because there will be a YouTube link directly after we get done, I'll share that and put them emails in there in case, anybody missed it or whatnot. That way, hey, you never know, man. Needle in a haystack. Somebody be like, hey, I have little acting experience, but a big passion for stunt work or whatever. You may find that needle in a haystack that may, I don't know, be next.
Absolutely. Mark was mentioning this a while ago. I think, casting the Madison Moon character can be very, very important for us. We're going to have to find probably 16 to 18-year-old girl that that can really bring that character out for such an important character.
Yeah, she's gonna have a good strong acting ability for that character, though, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I've got one I'd like to throw your way. I've got a couple of them, but we used one girl in this movie that we just did called The Clock. Her name is Hannah Bender, and she is an amazing actress. Somebody I just worked with the first time. And I got a couple others as well, right around that age range. So I'll get the contact information. I will shoot it to them and have them reach out.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
So one of the questions that because obviously we have a lot of indie filmmakers and actors and actresses that watch this podcast and tune into the magazine. What would be, and a question that we like to ask a lot of these people, what are some advice you'd like to give an up and coming filmmaker that wants to break in, but doesn't really maybe have the confidence or hasn't had the experience or the connections or the resources? What was some kind of advice that you'd like to pass on to somebody starting up that really wants to pursue their passion?
You go first, Evan.
All right. Well, for me, I mean, when I was young, I went to like a film camp. I didn't pay the big money to go to like a big film school. I went to a film camp. It was like 6-day course. Went in there, they taught me how to write, how to shoot, how to edit, get sound on there, and have it ready by the end of the week. And so I ended up going back to that school a few times. It was the Gulf Island Film and Television School. At one point, I actually owned the school, but that's like a whole other story. And then COVID happened. But so I was able to come up with a little bit of money to get my own camera, get my own little tiny editing suite, super cheap thing, and I just made movies one after another, and threw them in a few festivals here and there. Won a couple won some awards. One ended up on TV in Canada on one of the YTV, like the kids channels there. At one point, you just got to go out and do it. Like, you just got to save up some money, get the camera, go shoot it, just make bunch of short films, and that's what I did. And then eventually joined the industry as a production assistant in Vancouver. Had no idea what I was doing, but I figured it out, and then I learned from everybody on set. So my entire film education, besides like those 1-week courses, was just on set learning from everybody involved. And then I made contacts and friends, and then I got into different departments. I ended up in the props department for a while, set deck, and then became prop master, and then did that for a long time. And now I write and direct my own feature films. But in order to do that first one, I just, I saw that opportunity because of the PUA checks coming in. I mean, that opportunity doesn't come up. It's never going to come again, probably, right? So if you want to make a movie, you just got to start saving up money and just go do it. I had $7,500 when I started filming. I ended up spending $30,000 on it in the end, but I didn't even have all the money to film it all and to finish it all. We just did it with half the money we needed, and then raised more. Yeah, you just gotta do it. Like, all right. It's kind of a long explanation.
Well, I remember the first book I ever read was from Robert Rodriguez, called Rebel Without a Crew. And in that, he basically, I remember that line where he talks about, for all those people that want to go to film school and this and that, he recommends taking that money that you would have spent on film school and making a movie. He said, because you're going to learn more on set than you'll ever learn in a classroom.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's true. I got another story. One of my students, who was actually kind of older than me when he went to my school, David I. Strasser, he works in Vancouver now. He ended up working for Real One Entertainment. But he went to my school. But then he went to one of those expensive schools, right? But then he spent the $35,000 for the year or whatever, and he's just like, I'm not going to do your course. And they're like, what are you talking about? And he's like, I'm going to make a feature film in your class, and that's what I'm going to do. And they, debated, said no a bunch of times, and eventually he just went and he did it. He's like, we're making one. They raised the money. They made one. That movie, became an award-winning film in Vancouver, and now he's just knocking off one film after another with a lot of Hallmark stuff and movies. And
good for him
in Vancouver, because he didn't do what he was told, and
Absolutely.
For me, it's a little bit different. Like, getting the stunts is really hard to do, but people who want to do film work, I tell them to shadow people, like volunteer. Like, volunteer, just be on set, work as a PA, work as when crafty, work whatever you can do to get your foot in the set, and listen. Keep your mouth shut and listen, and be an asset. Be an asset. When someone needs help, help them. Like, volunteer your help other departments if you're not too busy. That'll show that you're hungry to learn, And after a while, people notice it. I notice it. If I see someone working hard, I'm gonna take them with my wing, and I'm gonna give them free classes. I'm gonna give them free pointers to do film. And I'm a producer now too, so if I see someone that's an asset, I want to bring them on the next film, whether they have talent or not, because I know they're gonna be something someday. They want to learn. They're hungry. So those people I try and pull up with me, and make a little. I got a team. I got a family. My people, they follow me. I got 40 people that follow me. That when I go somewhere, they're gonna come. If I need help, they show up. And I tell people, you need to find your team, your family, your tribe. Find those people and make movies, but find good people who are honest, people with integrity, people who don't scam people who are out there to do the right thing for the right reasons, and make a movie, whether it's a short, no matter what it is, and be an asset. If you can be an asset, you'll come back.
Oh yeah. The volunteering thing was a great point.
Absolutely.
My first day as a PA was on Dark Angel, the TV show with Jessica Alba, Steven Spielberg TV show. I volunteered my first day. I was terrible. I screwed up so much, but it didn't matter. They saw that I was ready to learn, and then the ALM on that one, John Dreyer, he was just like, took me under his wing and taught me everything I needed to be a PA at that time, right? And then, when I was in the locations department for 5 years, I wanted out of it. I wanted to go do something else. So I made friends with the prop master. And then I just, every once in a while I'd say, hey, if you got anything, let me know. I'll volunteer. And then, a couple months later, he had a slot where I could volunteer. Came in. I was the on-set guy for 2 weeks for this movie of the week. And after that, near the end of that movie, he ended up leaving to go prop master another one. Then all of a sudden I was on the truck, and then I was working with this other woman that he was working with, and then all of a sudden I had a full-time gig doing props, just like that, from volunteering from that one thing. And then eventually I became a prop master, a couple years later. So the volunteering thing, like you say, is huge because it got me in the door for both positions, right? So.
I tell that to people all the time when people talk to me and ask me about how do you get involved. I said, volunteer, be a PA. You're going to work a little bit, but the bottom line is that you're going to be on set. You're going to see how things are done. You're going to get a feel of how things are done. You're going to make connections. You're going to be talking with actors, actresses, film production people. You never know what opportunities are going to spawn just from you being there and being present and people talking to you and communicating with you. And then you just build from there.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's a good thing about the Indiegogo campaigns as well. Like for ours and many other campaigns out there, you can buy your role. You get to bypass that audition, instead of 100 people auditioning that you got to fight for that role. You can just buy it, and then boom, you get on set, you get your experience, and that really helps you. Because I know lots of friends in Vegas, that's what they used to do. They used to buy into the Indiegogos as an actor, and now they're getting paid to do it on other productions and stuff because they've made a name for themselves.
Capitalism at its best.
Yeah,
you got to build that resume, right? If you
Absolutely.
Resume, you got to build it, and then like I tell my guys, I'm honest with them. Well, some of my stunt guys, if they suck at stunts, they suck at acting. I'll tell them, you want to know the truth? They're like, yeah, okay, you suck, but you don't have to suck forever. You can get good. You can get good, but you got to want it bad enough. So go do some short films and watch yourself, critique yourself, and get better every time. You know what? Every one of my guys have gotten better at everything, the stunts and acting, and I'm so proud of them. And I'll tell them too when they're doing good, but if they want to know, I'll tell them the truth. But those people have come from here to here. Like, I'm so proud of them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, Rick, I'm really glad that, because we do ask that question that sparked this whole conversation is, how do you get involved? And there were so many great points I've heard. I want to say it was Joe Castro, special effects guy, you guys probably know of, that he said, hey, if you want to make a film, just do it. Just go out and do it. You'll figure it out throughout the process, whether or not that's for you. But you're not going to get to that point if you don't pick up a camera. And nowadays, with the iPhones and even, Androids, they all have good cameras on them. Just go out and do it. And, when you guys were talking about volunteering, it's almost like you were reading my story because June is full of I'm volunteering to be a PA on a film called The Woods Are Alive. And I've never done it before, but I got bit by the acting bug doing playing a stoner in Elvira's Haunted Asylum of Horror. And I kind of got bitten. Now I just want to be on set. And my thought process has been, I want to wear as many hats as possible.
Good.
I would do a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of in front of the camera, just anything. And like you said, Mark, strictly to build up, that my IMDb, resume. Yes, I've done PA. Yes, I've done this or that. And it actually opens up more job opportunities that, and possibly I could land a full-time job. Who knows? As you said, Rick, you have no idea what that can lead to. So that's kind of what you guys explained to do for young actors and filmmakers. I'm literally in the middle of fucking doing that right now. So I guess I'm on the right path. If you guys are suggesting that, yeah, I guess I'm on the right path because I'm volunteering my time. I volunteered, my first acting gig, but it was something I wanted to do. I'm good friends with the director, and it was his first feature, and so it's like, let's just do it, man. We'll get through, man. Don't worry about it. We'll make it. And
yeah.
So. That was awesome. That was great advice, guys. Great advice.
Yeah, because if we can all come together in the indie film community, we can prop each other up and help each other on each other's projects and send people advice in the right direction and things like that. That's what I love about the collaboration and stuff.
And that's the whole reason we brought Indie Horror Junkie to life. The whole reason was because I'm a filmmaker myself, so I've gotten to see and meet a bunch of other people like yourselves, and nobody really shines a light on what I call the working class filmmakers. The guys that work 9-to-5 jobs and stuff like that and film on the weekends or at night and usually use their own money. So I wanted to try and be that light, I'm saying, that's going to say, hey, look at what these guys are doing. Maybe they're not going to be in Fangoria next month, but maybe they will be next year. But here you go. Here's your chance to see what these people have to offer now and support them, because these are the guys of the future. So let's stand up and cheer. So that's what we do with the podcast, with the magazine, is we talk to you guys and support you guys and applaud what you're doing, because you guys are the future of cinema.
That's right.
Thank you. And a lot of indie filmmakers actually have original content too. Just had to throw that out.
Mm-hmm.
People desperately need. No more remakes all the time.
No, I know, man. No, Blair Witch. It's like, here we go again.
Yeah, let's leave Blumhouse alone.
Hey, look, they'll put out good movies. Let's just leave.
They do. They're a quality company. They put out some good.
If they asked me to direct, I would totally direct.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, right.
He's an indie at heart. Jason Blum's an indie at heart.
Yep. Yeah. And,
well, thank you guys so much for being a part of this and helping us, introduce everybody to what you guys got going on. We're so looking forward to it. We're going to go ahead and close out the show now, but what we'd like you to do is hang out for a minute or two. Let us close it out real quick, and then we'll come back and we'll chat a little bit off camera, okay?
Sounds good.
All right, guys. Thank you again.
Thank you, guys. Oh, I think I cut him off.
Yeah. There's indie filmmaking right there.
Yeah, right. Sorry, Evan. Man, great conversation, man.
Yep.
Especially there at the end. That was a good wrap up, man. They were saying everything I've been thinking.
Yeah.
Like they're in my brain, and that's not a place most people want to be.
No. But they're the kind of guys that we represent, that got me excited about doing Indie Horror Junkie to begin with. So absolutely love it.
And if there are any filmmakers that have some projects out there that you'd like to get a little bit more exposure, that Gmail going right across the bottom of the screen, indiehorrorjunkie@gmail.com. Shoot an email. That is probably the best way. Yes, I've noticed, a Facebook message here and there, but, sometimes those get overlooked. An email is probably your best chance to get seen, because that's looked at a little bit quicker. So, again, thank you, Evan. Thank you, Mark. Great stuff. I look forward to it. Toy Maker. If you haven't seen Six Wheels from Hell, I believe it's on Tubi, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think you said that, yeah.
Yep, it is on Tubi. I see them nodding their head. I believe that's, I think I watched that during the judging. I didn't watch it on the link. But anyway, Another great show. Let me let you guys know what we got coming up next week. It's going to be an interesting one, I feel. We have Death Becomes Them, a horror-less group. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, that's a cool little event that they're doing in Tampa at the Brass Mug. And Asylum Amy and myself will be there. We'll have a table set up where you can get all your Indie Horror Junkie merch and check out what they're going to have dark fantasy authors and all kinds of really cool vendors and events going on and shows going on. And I'm really excited about that one.
And I think they're really excited about coming on because they're already posting.
I love it.
A week in advance. I love it too, because we're just as excited, guys. All right. With that being said, let me. Sorry. All right.
As they say in the biz, we'll see you next Wednesday.